The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show.
What is up? Back for another episode of The Tailgate Show. 4-1, although you're backwards, so it looks like you said 1-4.
No, 4-1.
Yeah, but to my screen, it looks like 1-4. But
Did we play a game? I thought I just assumed they'd just roll over and die for Tom Brady.
against all odds, against all the experts, all the pundits, everybody except for the diehards and Patrick Finley picked us, the Bears, not us, picked the Bears to lose that game on Thursday night in front of the GOAT during an AC/DC new album commercial. Everybody was interested in only one thing, Tom Brady and AC/DC. But Khalil Mack said, nope, I'm here, and you're going to pay attention to me. And
love me, damn it, love me.
Basically, that defense willed them to a big win under the lights in prime time, and everybody can eat a dick that that has a problem with the 4-1 Bears. Because we're 4-1. We don't give a fuck what the margin of victory is. We're 4-1. So, that's all I gotta say. What do you think, boys?
Tom Brady all salty at the end, walking off, won't even shake hands. You hate to see it.
Oh, it's terrible.
I loved every minute of it. Go home,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Well, listen, he found out in that when their backs are against the wall, this is not a Belichick, well-disciplined squad. Oh, no. This is the Tampa Bay rogue squad, mercenary squad, who they respect Tom Brady, but there's no evil emperor in the background making sure that people, keep it tight. Bruce Arians ain't that dude. He might yell at you, but he's not Belichick. There's no fear of that guy. And that's an undisciplined team. Yeah, they had injuries, blah, blah, blah. But that's an undisciplined team. They got that wild man Jensen in the middle of their line causing all kinds of havoc. I watched like half of that Charger Bucs game, and that dude was doing the same crap again. And apparently he had a ton of personal fouls last season. So this is like this is an undisciplined team. Brady lost his mind because he's not able to just will everything to happen because he doesn't have, the normal troops around him like he's used to.
You got to give some of that credit to the defense, though, for throwing the
Of
ball.
course.
My God, they hit him 8 times?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about. You get to Brady, you start knocking him around, and shit starts happening.
Well, and it was a really physical game in general. I mean, it's not like the Tampa Bay defense is any slouches. Those are some big boys over there, Sue and Vita Vea or whatever. That guy's super physical. They were pushing, around. Evans was putting his hands in everybody's face who had a face. It was like he was out there, getting physical.
Mario Edwards sighting there too for us. Mario Edwards showed up tonight or last night.
Yeah, Mario Edwards. There's some contributing dudes on this defensive line rotation. You know what I mean? Like Edwards was in there. Edwards low-key made one of the plays of the game because if he doesn't change the arm angle a little bit of that deep throw across over the middle, we might go down 21-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Urban
and
on the run blitz where he just shuts them down. It shut their whole drive down.
Yep.
Defense is finally finding its stride. We knew they were going to get better I knew they were going to get better as the season went on. They're finally getting their legs under them. Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. They need to fucking tackle better. The first half, I was screaming at the TV.
Yeah, the middle of our defense
that's
is
not
just
really
not
professional.
And our run defense needs to improve. The middle of our defense as far as passing, pass defense needs to improve.
I mean, at first, let's be honest, it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. I mean, the Brady went right down the field.
First half was dark,
dude. 13-0. It was rough. I mean, it was real dark. Like, and yes, Jared, they need to work on tackling, but that Rojo guy was making some crazy ass spins. Like, this is not some whoever like Detroit running back. Like, this is a dude that's a damn good running back. Like, this is the guy that Fournette came over and they're like, no, you're not the starter, Fournette. Rojo is the dude.
106 yards against us. I mean, that's against us.
He was, I mean, those spins were nasty. Like, it wasn't like just like, oh, Roquan, you idiot. Although I was mad at him for not making the tackles. It was like, and he even said after the game that he didn't see those spins on tape, so he wasn't really ready for it. And I was kind of like, that's kind of a corny excuse, bro. Like, if you're, like, you just got worked. Like, you didn't see the spins on tape? What? Like, what were you going to do? I don't know. Like, there was just too many dudes out there, like, throwing shoulders and not trying to wrap up and stick guys. And now later on, there were some shoulders that got thrown that were awesome, but they were in the beginning. It was like, oh my God, here come the slants. Oh my God, here comes this is what it's going to be. And the pass rush was going wide, and they were going right up the middle. And that's that's been the fear with Quinn and Mac, right? That they are just going to go wide, and then the middle's going to open right up. If you don't get that interior pressure. So that was kind of. So it was sort of like worst case scenario at the beginning. Like, again, we couldn't move the ball. Again, Nagy comes out with weird ass play calls, and jet sweeps and bubble screens and all his.
Yes, when Nagy first started here, the scripted stuff looked good, and that's like the scripted plays are like, oh.
Well, I mean, it got to the point where Nick Foles has to basically go off and be like, hey, I see something. You got to let me run it up.
Well, that was the momentum. He was trying to keep the offense flowing. And like Nagy's, I need to do my 10 substitutions now. It's like he's not used to having a quarterback that can run shit.
It in the presser, too. He's like, we've got to get our momentum back. We got to get our mojo going,
He's just not used to a quarterback that can say, let's get this going. Let's keep going.
Right. Well, I think a couple things have happened recently, which are good things, and we kind of predicted this a little bit, or we hope this would happen, is that when Tariq went out, it would increase the snaps and usage for David Montgomery. So we saw David Montgomery, the pass catcher tonight, and there was last night, and it was huge. Huge plays, huge third downs. Obviously, the floater at the end of the game to set up the field goal position,
baby.
But. I mean, also an outstanding catch. I don't know if I mean, that's a great throw. I'm not going to go dime on it. It's like an 8. Like, that throw was an 8.
The touch he put on it was perfect, though.
It's great touch, but Montgomery had to completely stop his momentum, and make it wasn't perfect. Like, the perfect one is when you hit him in stride. Yeah, I mean, and Montgomery made some great catches. The one where Foles throws it up at his shoulder and he barely even gets around, and dude caught it. Like, I mean,
the cool thing about that big one though on third down in the fourth, the big thing about that was if you watch Foles calling the audible at the line, telling guys to switch up, telling A-Rob you need to block here, you need to chip here. Like there was a lot going on that Foles manipulated there. And
that never happens with them.
Exactly. We have a quarterback. He did start off slow. He did show. I don't know what's going on with his arm strength, because that's something we thought he had the deep ball. I mean, he missed Mooney bad. Like
that's on Mooney. Mooney,
I think that route was great.
Out.
Yeah, it may have been that way, but there were some throws in the beginning where we were just like,
yeah. The throw that he missed was the rollout. That one, he for sure. And they asked Foles about that, and he basically kind of told them, no, the Mooney was not me. I mean, he didn't say that, but they said, what about some throws that you missed? And he really only
came off his hand weird on one of them, but
he really, yes, that's the one, the rollout, and it was to A-Rob, and he sailed it. I mean, yeah. Listen,
It started off rough, but he did.
Yes.
He kept his composure. That's what we
like.
have.
Let's not forget that he missed most of the season in Jacksonville. He came back for a hot minute, and they went back to the Minshew magic thing. I mean, the fact of the matter is that he got, it's through no fault of his own. He got overtaken by like a phenomenon, and it was a bad team, but all of a sudden people cared because of the Minshew mustache and all this crap. And so they didn't really have a lot. He had a short leash when he came back. He came back, he was rusty, he didn't play much, and he's been sitting, behind Mitch, and he didn't have the adrenaline of the Falcons comeback. And I think coming off of the Colts loss, I think there was a little, there's still just like some.
I still wonder that Colts game, man. I just wonder how much effort they actually put into that Colts game, as far as getting the team prepped and things like that. It almost felt like they prepped harder for Tampa. If they were doing like a dual install kind of deal.
Well, I don't know.
There was no fire. There's no fire in that game. And then
I mean,
the Tampa game was like, wow, who's this?
The Colt game, looking back, they were a lot of
defensively.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Defense played fine. Yeah,
I just think I think that it schematically the game plan in the Colt game just didn't match up. I don't think it was for lack of effort or preparation, although I think the offensive line was pretty sloppy, and it was was more of a combination of them being out of position and playing badly than it, and then also just the scheme of the Colts just was a problem for what we were trying to do. And again, they know Foles so damn well. They know Nagy so damn well. This is not the kid, So I'm not,
defense. I'd have to look at the numbers, but it seemed like in the Colts game, our defense was on the field a little bit longer too.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it was a preparation issue. I just think there's a certain amount of adrenaline of a short week and a nationally televised game. And that's why I thought that Khalil Mack was going to show up in this game. And not only was I like, are we all sort of desperate for him to have a game like this? I mean, he's been having a great season, but what we're missing and what we've been missing is the splash plays. And it's not fair. It's not fair that, he gets this rap because he hasn't had enough viral videos this week, but it's just the way that shit is, and that's how people.
He filled that quota this week,
right? He absolutely did, and then we were so damn spoiled, and I'm getting to the point where I'm really tired of hearing about 2018. 2018 was a fucking anomaly. Yes. The amount of turnovers they got is freakish. Like, it is not to be expected. Like, nobody should ever have thought we were going to repeat that ever. And it's not fair to downgrade these guys the way they've been playing because they were a part of a historic thing, back in 2018. Like,
they were younger too. They were younger. You can talk Fangio, whatever, but they were younger. It was just a different thing. And well, the thing with Fangio was it was a couple years into his system, but he finally got the guys he needed to work his system perfectly.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guys that were really comfortable in the system already, like you just said, and then you added Khalil Mack into the mix, and it just caught fire. Yeah. And they got every fucking bounce. This year, they're not getting the bounces all the time, and also, defensive holding is called even less this season. So it is what it is. I mean, I just think we have to stop, like, and I see Bears fans, who just, like, two things happen during the game when we're watching the Bears game. One is that we lose faith in the offense and the quarterback. That usually happens first. And then later, when the defense isn't, like, unbelievable, then we lose faith in that. And we start freaking out about every little thing that goes on. And I just don't think it's fair. Like, I don't think it's fair to ask them to recreate that. Although I think they all want to. They're all trying to.
They needed a spark badly.
Yes.
And I think they got it, and Kyle Fuller delivered the spark. That might be a season-changing hit
That hit, if Bears fans go back and appreciate that hit, watch it as many times as you want, because that was maybe one of the best clean hits we've seen since they've changed the rules on how you're supposed to hit and all this stuff. Those hits don't come around a lot. Though that's like what we used to see in the late 80s. Like that was a freaking clock cleaning. And that was a legitimate, by the rule, textbook, perfect.
And the refs actually
match.
got the call right.
I mean, that was like, you remember Chuck Cecil?
Oh, yeah.
That was that kind of impact hit, but clean. I mean, that dude, that hit was.
I think it's a psychological.
That was Wilbur Marshall. Like, I mean, from a DB.
It was unreal. One of the best hits I've seen in my lifetime.
Lowering the boom. Troy said what you said was that it's textbook. But again, the refs kill the momentum. Like, thank goodness that Robert Quinn, who has not been on this team, had the presence of mind to pick the ball up, because a bunch of other people went back to the same old bullshit of like wandering around like derp derp. It's like, pick up the live ball. That has been a problem on this team for as long as I can remember.
Against the Eagles, dude.
Yeah, pick up the live ball. It's like, that is peewee football shit. Like, until
the whistle blows, you keep going. Yeah.
Right. It's like, where's your helmet? Pick up the ball. These are two basic things you're told when you're a kid playing football. The ball doesn't stay on the ground, and you keep your hat on your head.
Yeah, you play the Robert. That's like elementary.
Right.
Robert Quinn makes the play.
Right. And thank freaking goodness he did, because then we'd be in another situation. But that's the thing is, it's like also, I mean, I'm just glad they got it right, but it also sucks that their knee jerk and their reaction on a big play like that is just to throw the flag just in case.
I was waiting for the defenseless receiver argument.
Right.
And never came.
But thank goodness they got it right. I mean, that's just a call that lately, the last 10 years we don't get.
And we got another call. Ifedi should have been called for offsides. False start. Thank you. My brain is not working right now.
How'd you like the Alex Barr's magic though? Comes in and we end up being
the Alex Bar's what?
Here we go. You know what I'm going to say? After he initially got taken to the shed by Vita Vea.
Yeah, it's a tough guy to come in and play against you.
He played all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vita Vea broke his leg.
Well, it should happen.
I mean, we're the Bars hive. I'm not going to front, but I'm just saying, like, he came in and they went right after him, as they should.
He got worked at first, but I thought he did pretty decent.
I think he did all right in pass pro. The running game's still a struggle, though. God, it's such a struggle.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been good against the run against everyone. The Bucs have been good against the run against everyone.
Our run blocking needs to improve, though. That's just been.
Well, there's no dedication to it.
Right. Here's the thing: is we all jumped the gun way too damn fast declaring this offensive line fixed. It was not fixed. Number one, it wasn't as bad as everybody said in pass pro last season. Mitch ran into a lot of those sacks himself. If you look at the pass block win rate and the time to throw and stuff, it was there for him last year. So they weren't as terrible as everybody thought in pass pro, but they were horrible in run, and they certainly got better. But again, I feel like that they're not running the same plays that they were running with Mitch. They're just not. It's not the same.
The Denny's menu is back, baby.
Yeah.
And it's got words on both sides.
Right. Well, and honestly, I think that's a problem. And we mentioned the Foles, yelling at Nagy, and Mitch trying to see, like, hey guys, what are we doing now today, guys? Ha ha ha, shut up.
Right.
You see Mitch come in when Foles is trying to talk to Nagy on the sideline, just like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We have a quarterback that can actually get in the coach's ear and say, this is what I'm seeing. It's not like, yeah, coach, I'll do better, coach. It's like, this is what we need to do, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a sequence towards the end, the Ryan Nall play, but wasn't that coming off of a timeout? And then I think the Foles freak out was right after that, right?
Yeah, it was right after a timeout. It's like,
and I think he was pissed. Number one, I think he was pissed about the timeout.
Yes.
Because it came from the sideline. Yes, remember that. I remember now. The timeout came from the sideline. And then they come out of a timeout, and Ryan freaking Nall is on the field and promptly gets a penalty. Gets a false start.
And Troy Aikman's like, yeah, Ryan Nall in, Ryan Nall out.
Yeah, and so that's why Foles was pissed, because then they didn't get a first down. That's why Foles was pissed, because he was like, what the fuck? You called a timeout and we were rolling, and then you send in, Johnny Fuckboy Ryan Nall to come in and do what exactly? Like, back up off me. And that's
the thing that's always annoying me.
I'm Big Nick. Yeah. Like, leave me alone, Nagy. And like, we saw the Chiefs players talking about how they were happy that Nagy was gone because the shit is too complicated. And now he wants to be in the press conference like all salty, like, they better learn. It's like, you better learn to let these fucking people play. Like, let dudes play, because at the end of the day, like, and Nagy's trying to take credit for, that's in the offense, like what Foles can do there, blah, blah. No, that's just Foles moving people around, being a G. Like, that's not your play calling. Like, dude needs to. What I'm hoping is over this 10 days that they can work their shit out and get to the point where it's like, just let me do what I fucking do, man. Like, get out of the menu, quit, ordering, the most ridiculous shit on the menu, and let's order some eggs and pancakes and bacon and go to work.
Well, the thing with me, too, with Nagy is the constant substitutions, the killing of the momentum, like you said.
Right.
Anthony Miller makes a big catch, right? Take him off the field. Let guys get hot. Let guys get into it.
Right.
That's part of the problem. We complain about people dropping passes or the run game's not going. You got to stick with the guy and let him roll a little bit and get him hot. You're getting all these guys cold.
He doesn't have that in his bag, man. He doesn't have that with the running game. He doesn't have that with receivers.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that he loves his plays in a vacuum. He thinks this concept, this play is so awesome. I can run this whenever. Doesn't matter.
Stop hitting the ball to Patterson, please.
Down, yeah. But Patterson was a huge factor in this game.
Up the middle, I like him.
In this game. No, but the two
returns
runs, not the runs. The two. He had a couple of tough runs. He got
the sweeps. I don't want to see that shit anymore.
Right, the sweeps, yes, but the swing passes, the wheel routes that he ran were fire, and this is the Foles, what Foles can do that the other guy couldn't do, and that's a huge thing. But the thing about Patterson is that tonight was like the first night last night was like the first night where Patterson felt like a threat, like a consistent threat. And it was cool, it was partially because the telecast decided to focus on it, but then it was also happening. I mean, they were really trying hard to kick away from him. And that seemed to like fire him up. And it seemed to fire him up knowing that he was a bigger part of the game plan. And and I think his success on the regular field led to him being more fired up on the run backs. And he was a damn threat. He had like a 46-yard return.
Took one at the 9 yards deep and was like, fuck it, I'm coming out. And he damn near broke it.
Him coming off the field was beautiful after the game. How about them there?
Well, he did it after the Falcons game too. That's like his thing. And it's to the point where like he is a weapon, and it's like, but again, you can't get the most out of him if you're going to give him 10 snaps. Like, you got to let guys stay on the field and get a lather up.
Well, he's going to have to take the Tariq Cohen role, I would think.
Well, and so far he has. I
think we made a mistake last year not letting him try out at tight end. Why? I think that would be more productive than running back for him.
The
way they used Graham, if they used Patterson like that last season.
I agree. I mean, I don't think what his best deal is when you can get him in space and he can just go in a straight line.
When he can be fast.
Yeah, like Kyle Long was tweeting during the game, and he was like, and he's like, I love seeing more 84, and somebody asked him why, and he's like, because he runs 4.4, he's crazy fast in a straight line, and he falls forward for 3 yards when he gets hit. Like, that's the thing, is that Patterson, when you give him that space and you let him get up ahead of steam, that dude is like a freight train.
Yep.
Like, he is just going, and he finishes runs. And that's what I'm saying. Like, as much as losing Tariq sucked, I think that in the long run, it's going to benefit some of these other guys so much. And if we could get Lamar Miller,
he'll be on the roster by the next game.
yeah, like if that could, yes, if they don't put him on the roster by the next game, then I'm gonna be pissed because Ryan Nall can take a flying leap. Like this dude, who is this guy? Like I'm tired of this. He's the new Taquan Mizell. He's the new Michael Burton. He's
mixed with Tanner Gentry,
exactly. Like who the
Daniel Braverman, that kind of
right. Yeah, that's like there's always got to be the one great white hope that for Bears fans to get all hyped
traps
about.
Everywhere live in fear.
Yeah, like whatever. So screw this guy. I hope Lamar Miller gets on the field and they get him. Because he can do that stuff too. I mean, let's see some 22 formation with 2 tight ends and 2 backs and. Then you got the threat of those wheel routes on both sides.
How about the 3 tight end formations that we ran?
Let's see some Cole Kmet. I know there's people like, why wasn't he doing? You got to call. You got to make some give him some plays. Like give him an opportunity before we start shitting on him.
They just did him they did him a massive disservice by that hype job. Like it was already enough pressure. Yes, because they haven't put him on the field. It's not fair.
The hype job wasn't just Bears PR, man. And a lot of people were saying he was the best tight end in the draft. The job was already there.
But they didn't have to go now you didn't have to call him RoboCop, didn't have to say that he knows the playbook so well. He didn't have to say any of that
first
shit.
Pick in the draft, man.
But it's a mistake and I think I'm just saying like he was expected to blow up and he's not even ahead of Harris on the depth chart. I think that's kind of shocking.
He needs the opportunity before we really understand where he is.
But he hasn't. But here's the thing. Number one, the offense is so bad they're running about 60 plays a game. So there just aren't enough plays. When an offense is going good, it's 80 plays and up.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mooney's on the field as much as he is the way Nagy and Furry have been with their rookie wide receivers.
But here's what I'm saying is that the Mooney thing shows you that this is a meritocracy. Okay, guys who have earned it are getting on the field. Your play is earning your spot. Even though Wims is not getting a lot of targets, Wims is blocking. Wims' effort is strong. He's staying on the field a lot.
Like Riley, where are you at?
Nobody knows. But that's what I'm saying is that he got
asked. You want to talk about a hype job?
Well, that's what I'm saying is that Nagy needs to quit it with that shit because he got asked about it again the other day, and he gave us this line of bullshit that Riley's really close and Riley's ready. No, he's fucking not because he's not even active. Like, quit lying to us, bro. Like, it's like that Riley Ridley's watching the press conference and going, "What the fuck, then?" Oh, I'm ready. I'm good, but I'm inactive. Like fuck off. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, the Cole Kmet thing. If you had Alex Bars getting playing time over Cole Kmet and actually contributing in your fantasy whatever predictions, that's amazing because
but if somebody got hurt, Kmet would be the next man up.
Cole Kmet was brought in and drafted to be a threat, and he is right now. He's not.
I just think we were led to.
He can't even beat 86 out, man.
We were led to believe, and people want to say that Demetrius Harris is some elite blocker and all this crap.
He can play the route too, though.
He could play the Graham role if Graham got hurt. I think. I just think that you paid Graham what you paid him. You brought in Harris, who's a better blocker. The kid needs to earn it.
I understand that. Graham was insane.
I get it. I'm just saying they did phenomenal. I'm just saying they did him a disservice. They didn't need to go to this level of hyping the kid. He's already their first draft picks of the draft.
The hometown kid.
Kid. They just didn't need to do it. Like it wasn't, and then they don't use him, and then Nagy acts like, "Oh, you're right. He should be in the game more." Well, a guy like you're the one that decides that, and so he got 6 more snaps this week. And he got a penalty.
Yep.
It's a feel good story. They had to roll with something, man.
No, they fucking didn't. This is what I'm saying is that he will not learn. He keeps gassing people up and he thinks it's some good strategy and it blows up in his face.
I don't know if Nagy's in control of PR. I think they push what they're told to push.
He's in control of what comes out of his damn mouth.
Yeah.
He's the one that did it. I'm not talking about making fluff piece videos about Dax Raymond. I'm talking about him calling him RoboCop, him telling us again and again and again, unprompted, about how great he is
How
with
smart
the
he is.
playbook. What a smart football player. He's, and Jimmy Graham went on and on and on and gushed about it. And that's not the PR department. That's dudes running their mouths and gassing guys up. And I'm just saying it sucks because now we do have unreal expectations for this kid.
They should gas him up because when he's on the field, you want people paying attention to him and taking focus off the guys you really want to use.
Then you don't put him on the field. So then put him on the field.
It's just gamesmanship, man.
Oh, it's lame. It's lamesmanship. Like I don't know.
4-1, baby, 4-1.
I'm just saying, but we have to talk about the fact that the offense is still a long ways away. And when Nagy comes on today after watching the tape and he's all crotchety ass salty and trying to act like Mr. Tough Guy about it, I mean, it's the same. It's very similar to, they went into the bye last year crying about offensive identity and we need to run the ball. And then he came out and completely shit the bed coming out of the bye last week. So this is like a mini bye.
Those third quarters were, our offense is just flourished.
We've not scored. We have not scored
in 5 games. We have 0 points.
Got our first rushing touchdown of the year.
Right. So
and that was iffy.
So,
having said that, though, 4-1, right? Imagine if we put 4 quarters together.
Right. Well, and that was the underlying theme, is that he's like, listen, we're 4-1 and we know we can play a lot better. And that's great. I mean, 4-1 is 4-1. They can't take that away from
that.
Why are you trying to improve your winning? We'll take it.
Absolutely. Wins are important. I'm not saying that they're not. And I'm not trying to buy into this worst 4-1 team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the margin of victory doesn't great. It's, it's just like
the NFL.
Olin was on Zimmerman's pod. He said this was before the Tampa game, kind of feels a lot like the 2001 team where things just were going in our direction. And it has that kind of vibe to it a little.
Hey, take it and run with it. I think I said that last week. This got a lot of feels of the Mike Brown year,
Right, but this was, this win was a signature win for the defense.
Absolutely.
And we got...
I feel like we could go on a run. I really do feel like this team's about to take off and make a real run.
If we get hot, it's going to be real hot. If things start really clicking on offense, sky's the limit.
Right. I'm not going to predict any of that because I still don't believe. I know, but
I'll put my name on it. What is today? The 9th? 10-9-2020. Chicago Bears are about to go on a crazy run. Stamp it.
All right. I'm just saying the Foles coaster is real.
My only nervousness is we don't come off a bye week while under Nagy. And this is kind of 10 days. Sometimes when he has too much time to think, it's not a good thing. Like you said,
absolutely.
Just go with it. You have to.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is that Foles, he trusts Foles more than he trusted Mitch because he had no reason to trust Mitch. And Foles can really be another voice and really say hey man, you just need to we know. Leave us alone. Put us in these formations. Leave us alone, and I will move shit around. You can't keep trying to be, make the perfect play. Nagy thinks Nagy's always trying to call the perfect play.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that. You need to let guys get a lather up, get a rhythm going, let that offensive line, run it. I would rather them go 3 and out, running it 3 times in a row, than the shit that he does to go 3 and out.
Sometimes, yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
if they could take it slow, because eventually I think you're gonna, that'll open up, right? And then you could at least run play action off it. If you start getting cute and throwing these little screens and shit, it's just meaningless. At least if you came out and you went with 3 runs and ate up a little bit of clock and maybe you got 9 yards and you got a 3 and out, I'd take it over these weird, funky screen passes and all this, because
1 yard. I mean, that was part of the problem that almost got Darnell Mooney killed and the ball picked.
Right. At least second drive, you come out and you run again, okay, fine. Or second drive, first down, you go play action on them. Then it works.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying I would rather that. Like, I know it's John Fox football or whatever, but like, and I'm not saying Nagy can't scheme people because he can. I'm just tired of the like cute shit to start. Like, his scripted plays in like the first 7-8 games of 2018 are great, but ever since then they've really not been great.
I agree.
Like, there's just really nothing great about them.
I just don't understand what it is with him in the running game. I don't. I mean, I know it's not going to work, but there was times where I was like, give the ball to Montgomery up the middle on a handoff. It's there. The splits determined it was there, and just refused to do it.
4-1.
Yes.
No,
I can't.
No, we are,
that.
but I mean, we sit there and say we're 4-1, we could play better, but that's why you want to talk about how we could play better.
Yeah, definitely.
This offensive line's about to get really tested. James Daniels out for the year with that torn pec, probably. So,
I mean, that first half, I was like, when's Tyler Bray coming in?
Shit.
Oh, I mean, it was rough. I mean, you honestly, like, I honestly got to a point mentally where I was like,
you're just waiting for it all to crumble.
I said, if Mitch comes back in, space and time will literally rip. Like, and I was like, whatever comes, just let it come. Like, that was like barbarians at the gate. Like, just let this motherfucker burn. Like, I don't, at this point, like, I don't care what happens because that's how low it was. And then all of a sudden it was like, what the fuck?
Oh, and Twitter, man.
Winning?
After
that interception where it went off A-Rob's hands, dude, I think it was Dominic Blayton or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, #AR.
Right.
It was serious pass interference on that play, though.
Dude, his arm was that way before, Jerry.
Not only that, but when A-Rob stops to head for the sideline, dude puts both hands on A-Rob's shoulders, turns him and pushes him. Like, so that was while the ball was in the air. The ball was already in the air. And then, yes, A-Rob should have still caught it after all that. He still should have caught it. And he will tell you that. And he did come out on Twitter and say, I'm going to be better, no cap. Like, he should have made the play. But that was pass interference all damn day. And they didn't call it. And the guy made a great play on the ball and caught it. And there was another one where the DB had his hands up and probably could have caught it. But that is the Foles roller coaster. I say, remember the Eagles game? We said Foles looked like crap all day. We should have 4 interceptions, but we just didn't. And that's what kills you about Foles. He's like, he throws these little floaters and these little daggers and these little things, and then you look up and it's like, how the fuck did this guy beat us? Like, I thought we had 4 interceptions, but we didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. And then when it matters, and the difference between him and 10 is that 10 could get hot maybe at the end of the game when the defense got soft. Foles can dial it up anytime. Like, he can get a streak going in the second quarter. I mean, apparently we're not allowed to score in the third quarter. But
no,
he can get it rolling, and so he got it rolling in the second quarter, and
the big difference between Foles and 10 is he's not as athletic, but
right.
he's making the right decisions. Now, whether or not the ball gets there sometimes is another thing, but he's making the right decisions.
He's not. I mean, listen, I think he's also getting the rust off in terms of the throws. He does need to learn where to put the ball for some guys. I mean, I think that's something that
chemistry definitely, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, not to make excuses for him, but again, it's like the same fan base that had the patience for 44 starts of Mitch, is giving full, and again, we put all this bullshit criteria where if we don't score 40 points against the best, I saw that on Twitter multiple times. If we don't put up 40 points against the Colts, it's all over for Nagy.
What?
Because no excuses. Yeah, I saw that crap. It's like because people wanted to assume that the Colts defense sucked just because they played the Jets.
No, that ain't how that works.
There's Twitter and Facebook, and then there's reality.
Right. I mean, and I know people just say shit, just to say it, but at the same time, like somewhere in the back of people's minds, and I know that but I mean that's reality. I mean everybody's on social media or listening to sports radio, and just it's wild. Like
Yep.
This is a hard team to freaking grasp. It's a hard team to freaking get.
No.
It's all over the place.
You know who had a hard time grasping things? That tackle for Tampa Bay. He had to hold a Mac most of the game, but old Mackey decided, nope, we're going to do the takedown.
yeah, Tristan Wirfs. I mean,
For Ronald Jones, that's a great start. Brady is taken down. Khalil Mack.
I mean that is serious
After the longest
wrestling
run of the
shit,
season
like
against this
leverage,
team,
like
Khalil Mack steps up
You get
and
two
gets
for
a
the
sack.
takedown of the
against
quarterback.
rookie Tristan Wirfs, and he's able to
He
work
just
around
sets Brady
him.
down gently, like here you go, old man. Oh, this big MF's still on me.
Get off me, young man.
Let me just put you down, son.
That's football porn.
And the
baby.
best part and the best part too is when Quinn comes over afterward, and is like jumping up and hitting him on the head, like. And I was like amazed that the two refs didn't even like it. It happened so fast.
I think the refs were like, he deserved that.
like Wirfs should have disengaged, right?
Yes.
And
Trying to hold him all the way down.
Right, but I mean, Khalil did some like fist of Buddha shit to him, like was just like like flipped him over, and it was like, oh, I was ready for Spice Adams to be like, he needs some milk.
It was like some Wesley Snipes back when he played Blade shit. Just like,
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was crazy. Like the strength and the leverage of that. I mean, it was just like and. The Fuller hit, that, I mean, Mac was in his bag, doing his thing. Quinn was getting pressure. Quinn saw more, snaps. They were getting some interior pressure. Our boy, Brent Urban, shout out to Brent, shout out to his wife, Kate Urban, queen of Bears Twitter right now.
She is the queen.
She's bringing the hype before the games with her videos and
was it Unrein back in the day? Unrein, right? Like kind of that kind of. He just comes in and he just steps up when needed.
But his snaps, he's got great energy. He's doing the air guitar, and his snaps are coming up. His snaps are growing. You're seeing, and he's just coming in and making an impact.
Yes.
I mean, Vaughters made an impact. So much so that apparently Stephen A. Smith thinks he's like he's like a regular.
Dude, Stephen A. said Raekwon. This is like Raekwon Smith. We need
we're gonna call him. Let's just call him the chef.
Yeah,
let's call Roquan the chef because he's cooking up some marvelous shit. But this time he had some marvelous smoothies when he got put in a blender.
Don't hit that circle button on the joystick.
By Rojo,
like Raekwon on a boat.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I mean, like Mac was Mac, like the Mac attack Mac. Like he's been there. He hasn't been hurt this season. Like people see that he's just
injury report.
Yeah, but they're just giving him what he's fucking due. This is respect. Like let the man be. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you that Reggie White back in the day wasn't practicing full out every day. We know Julius Peppers wasn't. Now they just have these practice reports that we all freak about every day because we can't wait till we get the tweet. But this
Did you see Max on field interview after the game?
Yes.
Pulls a standard right there. He's like, I love this guy. I'm like, yeah.
That's
right. He loves this guy because that's a big boy professional quarterback. It's not some little boy he's got to coddle and like be like, you're okay. Everybody likes you. Don't listen to the noise. You're the best, pal.
Like, if you're gonna coddle though, you could save 20%.
How are we going to save 20%? Coddle. We coddling what? We
coddling your man areas.
Oh,
make it nice and you gotta get that Manscaped in, get that Brawl network.
Yeah,
the code Brawl.
20%. Brawl at checkout, 20% off that goody good.
If you're gonna do some caressing, the ladies don't like to be running through the brush trying to caress it.
Just speech set that segue. My man just went from talking about Mac coddling Trubisky to.
I mean, it's kind of like coddling balls.
Gotta throw the pitch in there, right?
All right, have a good night, folks.
Yeah, it should have been when we were talking ball placement, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Have a good night, folks.
You like using the jugs machine? Log on to Manscaped.
Yeah.
That's a machine.
All that being said, thank you to our sponsor, Manscaped, manscaped.com. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BRAWL. You will save 20% off your order. Get all your crap. Get it together. Get your gear on because you know what it is? It's cuffing time. The winter is coming. If you are not together with somebody, you better get together with them because after Halloween, if you are not booed up for the winter, it's going to be rough.
And
so
I'm
you
just
need
saying,
to get
speaking
your gear
of cuffing,
right.
you're becoming more when you start taking care of your boys.
Get your gear
It's
right.
It's all about presentation nowadays.
Right. You want to keep everything right, keep it tight, get your gear right because you're gonna have your safe socially distanced Halloween, but you still gotta get it in because you gotta cuff it up.
Yeah,
you gotta stay warm for the winter.
Gotta expose those pumpkins to carve them, right?
Right.
That's it.
That made no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I went with it. It's called Yes And. That's how we do this, okay? I mean, I'm not going to contradict you. I don't know. He said
when
something
I
about
polish the dome, I do it with Manscaped.
That's it.
There you go.
Promo code BRAWL, manscaped.com. But yeah, I mean, listen, this team, as Nick Foles said, it was a fist fight. He's like, it was an old Philly fist fight. Now I got to do it in Chicago. It meant something to him. Shout out to our guy, Flo's Andolini, that's been going to the games. He asked Nick a really good question. It was like, did you pay attention to the fact that the Bears have never beaten Brady and, this and that? And he's like, no, I really didn't pay attention to that. I was more thinking about the fact that he had gone out. He had gotten injured against this team, right?
Right.
So he still had that in the back of his mind. And as emotional as Nick Foles get, which isn't really a lot, it's like he said he was really emotional, but you didn't really read it. But it was a big deal for him. Like, this was a big deal for him to get this win. Yes, it sucks that we only scored 20 points again and we still can't get get shit going. But
that's a winning 20 points might be the winning recipe.
You need more than 20. We got to get to 25.
Yeah,
like,
we can't be
sitting on like this. We need to have some games where and I think Carolina could be that. But this is a game that they can build on emotionally.
I think 28's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Packers are scoring through the roof. The Seahawks are. But then, it comes down to 27, 25.
We need to start getting going, though, because we're not we're not there yet. We're like, we can't get in a shootout.
No.
Well, in some ways, I think that helps them a little bit as long as – but I also, it's like at the end when we were driving down for that field goal, you wish that we had like a 4-minute offense.
Right.
Like that was like.
So what did you think about that pass on second down?
I'm not a fan of it really, but I think it's also like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because you already kind of set up this thing where you don't have that much stuff that's working still. So
I was great with it. I was like, go for their heart. If you're gonna do it, go for their heart.
You're talking about the PI?
I'm talking about the fade. He tried to back shoulder down
with under 2 minutes.
Kick.
We don't trust kickers. Ever.
But they called the PI, right, to set us up.
No, they didn't call a pass interference on that.
No, it was just incomplete.
I'm thinking of a different time in the game. Yeah. I'm thinking about when they called that PI on A-Rob.
Yeah, I mean,
they're trying to come back to the ball.
The Bears were the beneficiary of some good calls, which was nice. I mean, that roughing the passer call against Foles, ultimately not kind of a ticky-tack call, but it was helmet to helmet. I mean, we've had it called against us on some pretty bullshit calls, so. It's okay for us to get some back. But yeah, Jared, I mean, I don't mind the aggressiveness there. I think he's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you just run the ball and get stuff, then they say, oh, whatever. But if you get a first down there, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, it's ball
you
game.
know.
I mean, it's
I
ball
don't
game.
think he managed the clock particularly well going down. I mean, I think they
Brady
left
a little too much time at the end.
They left, but that's the thing is that the offense is really not functional properly. So we don't know what to do there. We don't have a 4-minute offense.
Right.
I mean, good Lord, that kick. Like, I was in
oh my God.
I was in the exact same spot that had been watching the Parkey kick. Like, basically, like I sit on my recliner, except by the time, like I'm watching the game, I basically have like 1 inch of my ass still on the recliner. I'm pretty much crouched in front of the recliner, like with it all leaned over, and I'm like on my phone, like in the half fetal position, but I put my phone down behind me because I didn't want to get screwed over by the tweets that are faster than the stream.
Guys that are there,
And I put it down, and Robert Schmitz was like tweeting about, oh, are we ready for the kick? And I was like, I had to mute him. I was like, bro, I'm gonna block you. Like, stop.
Well, the announcers don't help you. The Bears kickers' issues in the past.
They were gentle with it though. Like Al Michaels and Collinsworth would have been way worse with it. Like they had so much AC/DC talking points. They didn't really have any stuff on that. Actually, you know what? Like I don't love Joe Buck, but I thought he was good in this game. He had a good energy.
Did you see A-Rob at the end of the game though? Here's your 10th AC/DC trophy. Right. A-Rob's like, what the fuck?
But honestly, like, did you think that kick was going in? Before he kicked it, did you think Cairo Santos is going to make this kick?
No. I didn't think negatively. I was just like, I just want to see it.
I didn't have the thoughts like, oh, he's never gonna make it. Like, that was not in my head, but it was like
the Parkey thing was a whole other ball.
I felt like I had an out of body experience. Like,
the Parkey thing was different though. I was like, motherfucker, here we go.
Well, that was worse because they iced him and he made it, and then you knew there was no way he was going to make it again. Because
all the clangs were going on in my head before that kick.
Right. But there's shades of that. I mean, this fucking brought up shades of that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's the same end zone. But he made it, and it was a weird ass kick. It went left. It came back right. I mean,
You think that's his job now?
No, because they just signed Kai Forbath.
Really?
Yep. I think Piñeiro's done. I think he goes on, if he's lucky, he goes on long-term IR. But they just signed Kai Forbath today.
Wow.
And so I think Piñeiro's done. So how ridiculous is it that they signed Cody Parkey after cutting Santos, have the insane playoff loss, do this whole fucking circus kicker thing, go through the year with Piñeiro being up and down, only to come back and have Carlos Santos again.
Who said Carlos?
Carlos is his name. John Fox named him Carlos. His name is Carlos. That's dude's name. I don't know nobody calling him Cairo.
Carlos Santos.
He's there.
Anyway, that's what we came back around to, right? Like, we should have just been like everybody else and signed some damn kickers and call it a day. Instead of having this big, like, maybe you should have spent that time on realizing that 10 sucked.
Yeah, there's an idea.
I mean, I'm saying, like, but whatever. We won. We got the kick, and then you sit there and you go, okay, well, Brady's going to carve us up, right? Like, and
I know it.
He didn't. Like, they got the one first down, and then, like, the defense stood up. They got the pressure, and dude didn't know it was fourth down, which is crazy to me because I don't know if it would have mattered, but he had a running back near the sticks that leaked out and was wide open. I mean, it was well after he threw the ball, but, like, for Tom Brady to not know what down it was, like...
Crazy.
Like,
well, they brought it up. He's an older man that does not want to get hit. He doesn't want any part of that.
Shit on Brady right now. The weapon, he had some weapons out. Let's not act like we destroyed this guy.
His whole line was intact.
That old ass dude almost beat us. Okay, let's not.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that he's in.
Well, they got more pressure on him than anybody else has.
As soon as somebody touches him, he drops. He goes straight to the ground.
Right. I mean, our offense couldn't score, but I mean, that's as close to destroying Brady as you're ever going to get. Like, I mean, this is a guy that threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. They had a decent defense.
That's a guy that lost a lot of weapons before the game, too.
Yeah, but Fournette played. Evans played. You're talking about Godwin?
Evans
Who did he lose? O.J. Howard, who hasn't done shit.
Johnson.
Okay, Evans is
great job on that.
Evans came off Gimpy right off the rip. First play of the freaking game.
I'm just saying I'm not going to downgrade this victory. Like, over the defense gets to have the credit.
But I'm not going to sit here and talk shit on Brady because we beat him by one point.
Who are you right now? You're not going to talk shit on Brady? Like, did someone just take over your show? Who are you?
We won by 1 point, and you're just not gonna say he's old, he's washed. Like, come on.
I didn't say any of that. It's crazy that he forgot.
Jared was going down that road with it.
Down it was.
What I said is he's an older man that does not want to get hit, and it showed. And when you hit him, it makes a difference now.
Brady's never wanted to get hit, dude.
Well, he really didn't want to get hit by Mac.
Well, we saw, but what we got, what we rattled him.
Yes.
Mac was staring into his eyes. Look at this.
Chargers, boy, he has taken a lot of punishment tonight. He was not sacked last week.
Look at this.
Here. That'll be number 3 on the night. And
Mac looking at him like, "What's up? What's up, man?" Woo! there's Brent Urban getting in the mix.
You gotta love that.
This is so.
This is a great look.
This is
breakdown by
When you see how he's thinking a wide run,
he didn't have a chance.
But look at Brady just falls gently to the ground, and Max is like, "Oh, this all day, baby, all day." And he's just like, "God damn it, what are you doing here again?" So fuck off. Don't tell me that we didn't get to this guy. They ate his lunch.
I didn't say we didn't get to him, but we only ended up beating him by 1 point.
They cracked his ass, bro. They cracked his ass. We only beat him by 1 point because the offense sucks. Don't take that from the defense. They cracked Brady's
I didn't take
ass.
shit from the defense. I'm not going to sit here and say that Brady is not as washed, though.
Nobody said he's washed.
Nobody said he's washed. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
No, there was that first.
He's an old man who doesn't want to get hit, though. That's absolutely true.
That first take show was comparing him to Willie Mays on the '73 Mets or some shit.
Well, he didn't.
Well, that's stupid because every year, and number
he just
one
came off
is
a 5 touchdown performance. Like, I hate Brady, but I'm just saying, like, I want to call him washed. Like, it's over.
No, but we cracked that ass.
We did.
We got you.
So that's all I want you to admit is that we cracked that ass. We beat him up.
Brady's
we made him throw the tablet and scream like a bitch and walk off the field and not shake anybody's hand. Which I gave him credit for COVID shit, but then you look at last week and I mean he walked off like a bitch. It was like Isaiah Thomas. He's always
been a bitch though. Everybody's trying to tell me, "Oh no, it's COVID related." I said, "I've seen this motherfucker plenty of times."
He wanted his victory lap. He didn't get it.
Him and LeBron are the same. They're poor freaking sports. They don't get their own way. They lose. They walk right off. They're bitches. Brady's always been that way. Brady's never liked to get hit. This isn't something new.
This dude was just defending. This is why I didn't understand why you could defend him.
I'm not going to say he's washed. That's what it sounded like it was going.
No, and let me tell you something that every single year, and you know this, Brian, living in New England, every single year in the Patriots, there's a 2 or 3 game stretch where New England fans
I'm like, he's washed.
Freak out, say he's too old and he can't do it, and then they recalibrate everything and he's fucking Tom Brady again. Yep. So Bucs fans, if those exist and are not just New England fans in pirate clothing, you know the dude's gonna come back around. They're gonna get Godwin back.
Oh, we rattled him, but I'm just saying he's not done.
Right, but that win against Brady counts. I'm not going to hear this, he didn't have his weapons garbage. He had plenty of weapons. He was slinging it around to dudes
we never heard of. His whole offensive line was intact.
Yes, and they got
Well, not really. They were playing our defense.
Exactly.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, we need credit. They need credit for that. That was a huge win.
Oh, it was a huge, absolutely big win.
Oh,
If the
Club that.
offense could fucking score, it wouldn't have been just a 1-point win.
The
right.
defense is no joke either for them.
It had a lot of shades of the Rams game, didn't it? Didn't it feel very Rams gamey? Sorry to bring it back to 2018, but it did have that feel to it.
Right, and this whole Foles thing, he started off against two of the best defenses in the league right now.
Right, which is why Mitch got benched, because I'm sure that Nagy's been thinking about that in the back of his mind. And don't tell me that the soft schedule at the beginning didn't have something to do with Mitch getting his chance at that time. If we started out versus the Packers or we started out versus real teams, I don't think he would have gotten that shot. I think they would have went with Foles. They gave him the shot. They said, okay, we're going to give you the shot, kid, against two bad teams. And if you can't get it together, I mean, I was thinking Nagy had to be thinking that way.
Oh, yeah, especially Atlanta being as banged up as they were. It was like, you're not doing it now. It's time to go.
Right. Like, you can't do it against Atlanta. You're out, kid. Like, and that's just, and that's just what it was. And I don't think he knew that Foles was going to lead him back like that. But it was like, I can't watch this anymore. Like, everybody's blaming me for this kid now. That's where it's got to. And he hears that. And he knows that. And he gets told that. He may not be on Twitter, but he knows. I mean, they know what's being said.
I really want to. I wish they would have had those guys mic'd up though when Foles was talking to him on the sideline. I want to hear the conversation.
God, could you imagine?
You could tell what he said. Read his lips. He said, "We were rolling," and he's like, "And there's, he's like, when we're rolling, we just need to keep going. Like, don't stop the momentum." That was exactly what he was saying. But
especially a guy that played for Chip Kelly, where it was just like, go, 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 go.
Right. And then you could see him saying, "We were rolling,"
Yep.
and you killed the fucking momentum with your bullshit.
Nailed it.
Leave the same players on the field and let Foles do his thing. No huddle. Walk up to the line and Peyton Manning that shit. And just move people around, and I guarantee you it'll work better than any, and whatever, the alignments and the routes and the play design, that's all still Nagy. He can still have all that, but just don't upset
stop
the
it.
apple cart.
Don't kill momentum.
Yeah, don't bring in Ryan Nall.
Which I'm surprised that he killed that momentum, because at first, when he first came here, and you really got the feel, like from hearing him talk, that Nagy was a guy that wanted to attack defenses with his offense, and then we became this, we'll see what the defense gives us. It's like, keep going, attack.
Well, it's just that he doesn't know, like, it's just in the same way that Mitch had no starts in college, Nagy has no experience calling professional games. He does
now.
He does now, but he had 6 games going into this.
Now he's actually getting some. He's getting some feedback from his quarterback position too.
Yeah, we got a quarterback that's
right.
going to help him.
And it's an opinion that he respects. But at the same time, he comes out today and is like, if you want to play, you better be more detailed, and our detail, isn't good. And it's like, okay, great, man. Like, just, so let's get Riley Ridley in there. We were told this dude is a technician running routes. You've been saying this shit for how long now? Get his ass in there. Let's see him. Ted Ginn, I mean, God knows why dude is on this team. He's an adventurer on punt return. He played 4 snaps on offense. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe 1 snap on offense and 3 punt returns. I don't know. I don't know what dude does, but like I want to see Riley Ridley.
As long as he's catching the punt, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but he makes it a damn adventure every time. Likes to catch him on a bounce.
I don't know why he tried to do the fair catch inside the 10. That's kind of a no-no.
Dude, it's an adventure. I'm telling you, I don't know what dude is doing. Like, I don't know what dude does, and who did you coach up, really? Like, because I don't see anybody
Shout out special teams for not killing us, really. I mean,
Yeah.
they really didn't kill us.
Pat O'Donnell had like a 60-yard punt at one point. He holds it down.
Up the field.
And Cairo made 2 kicks. Carlos made 2 kicks. So, special teams didn't kill us. Barcavius Mingo made plays.
So, who you got for your HMD? Go to the game. Brian.
Khalil Mack.
Solid choice.
I mean, I think Fuller had the the Fuller tackle was a huge impact in the game, but Khalil just balled the hell out, man. He was on a different level than everybody else.
Well, and the thing with the Fuller thing is it's like great play, obviously fantastic, but again, it's like I don't understand why dude won't switch sides. That touchdown to Evans, they left Johnson on an island versus Evans. It's like, okay, we
He
like
played
Jalen.
him really well.
Yeah, but that's you're not going to win that matchup. He's too big, too strong.
I don't think there's a lot of cornerbacks in the league that don't win that matchup. He did play him well.
But you got to know that he's out there on an island and figure that out. Like, you can't leave him on an island versus Evans.
He didn't get burned. It was good coverage.
I'm just saying, I think you'd like to, I mean, I know he's like our press guy. I don't know. Jalen had kind of a up and down game. Like, he's still solid. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I just kind of wish that Fuller would be a guy that, shadows the best receiver sometimes.
That's my HMD go to the game is Kyle Fuller. He sparked the whole team. One turnover, did it.
Well, I mean, I definitely think he made the play of the game. Absolutely. I mean, I think
flipped the whole game. Might have flipped the whole season. I don't know. You start getting swagger. You start getting confidence. That defense starts feeling it.
I think Big Dick Nick swinging against Atlanta kind of put a fire under the team too, though. So there's been moments. These guys. It doesn't take much.
The Colts game extinguished that fire.
It doesn't take much to get this team motivated, though. I mean, I think they're just fighters.
The defense is. I mean, David Montgomery is.
Well, it's not like this. Act like this offense is not a fight. They've proven it.
Yeah, but again, you see extremely uneven play from the quarterback. You've seen very uneven play from Allen Robinson. You've seen non-existent tight ends.
You've seen some of the greatest comebacks in Bears history at the same time, though, from this offense. So
I get that, but let's balance it out.
Right.
Let's score more than one rushing touchdown in 5 games. Let's score 1 point in the third quarter in 5 games. Like, I'm all for the comebacks. That's super awesome. Let's score in the third quarter.
Let's just have like a lead.
Yeah, but you are what your record says you are.
I mean,
things need to improve.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I agree they are, but they have the capability to do it more, and they need to do more. Like,
I agree.
and I'm not one of these people that's really saying no excuses, but it is kind of no excuses. Like, I guess I like the fact that Nagy was fired up, but he always seems like it's like someone else's. It's like someone else that needs to fix it, and he does the mea culpa to some degree, but I feel like it's like, bro, it's you. Like, and I hope somehow, some way, and I don't think this will happen.
Has he relinquished responsibilities?
We'll
never know. No, not after that last play sheet. No thanks.
But we'll never know.
Well, yeah, he says that, but he thinks he's a better poker player than he is.
Oh, Pagano's funny as hell. He's got his mask on. He's still putting things over his face so they can't read his lips under his mask.
Yeah. I think Pagano had a real big bounce back game this year. I think he's been much maligned, and that was a big victory for them and for the defense. And so, shout out to him. Jer, you picked Fuller.
Yes, I did.
I'm going to pick Jimmy Graham. That one-handed catch was boss move status. Like, number one, a great ball. Foles puts a ball up that you can do that with.
And if you want great balls, see, that would have been the better segue.
Well,
yeah, we did our reads. But that was sick. Like, we haven't had a guy that could make a catch like that since Brandon Marshall.
He's a body catcher, I noticed. He doesn't like to get those hands.
Right. That one over the middle. And yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is that between the 20s, the tight ends are non-existent. But we do have but A-Rob has not made one-handed grabs.
Tariq can make one-handed grabs in practice.
All right, well, my guy sucks. You're right. Never mind. My bad. It was a shitty catch. Everybody on the fucking team apparently can make it, but nobody fucking has.
No, that wasn't.
You're right. It was
incredible.
It was lame.
It was incredible.
Jimmy Graham sucks. But we're 4-1, by the way.
4-1.
The catch sucked, but our record is what we say we are.
What did I say the catch sucked?
Just now, you said everybody on the fucking team can make it.
Nobody else on the team could since Brandon Marshall.
Yes. When have you seen a catch like that in the end zone from this team since Brandon Marshall? When? A one-handed grab like by himself? When? Tell me about it. Hasn't happened. It was unique. That's all I'm saying.
Scold him.
It was an excellent catch. I'm just saying.
But apparently everybody on the team could make it. Apparently, like fucking Ryan Nall could fly out and make that.
Jimmy Graham's elite. I'll write that down.
He's not elite, but at least he's elite red zone target.
Yeah, that was an incredible catch.
Like, I was shocked. Like, I was like,
touchdowns.
You know,
By a lot.
I mean, that was
Anthony Miller didn't drop a ball.
I was wrong on Jimmy Graham, by the way. I didn't expect this. I didn't.
Anthony Miller had a nice first down catch. He had a couple plays.
Big play in that drive. 3rd and 9 converts.
I'd like to see him be a little more decisive getting that first down and kind of waving the ball over the marker like that. Like I was just like,
don't get that knocked out of your hand.
Yeah, just that, and like you never know where your feet are. Like with that, like it's it's about where your feet are too. Like it's not the. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, again, I don't know what's going on with his snaps. I mean, they're clearly they've moved on to Mooney, although Mooney seems a little banged up.
He made a big play playing defense basically on a jump.
Well, ball. He actually didn't even touch it. The guy just dropped it.
But
He looked like he kind of tipped it, but when on the slow-mo replay, he didn't even touch it. Like, dude just didn't catch it. That was the one other interception where it was like, oh shit, that should have been an interception. So, I mean, again, like he's close to hitting him. They're going to work out the timing between them. I think that he ran the wrong route on that deep post.
He didn't run it. I just know you're supposed to run it to the pylon. You know what I mean?
There was something where somebody put up some stat about
I hope that's the case.
Foles throwing a ton outside the numbers in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And doing most of his damage outside the numbers. So I like this.
I gotta hand it to the little nephew. He was right. We took advantage of their safeties.
Well, that's the weakness of the Tampa defense is their secondary.
Yeah.
And the safeties.
I gotta give the boy credit. So okay, that's done.
Well, and I thought their corners actually played pretty well, but
Winfield's been playing pretty good this year, though.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. I mean, he's a nice player. I think, I wouldn't have, I mean, you sit there and go, well, maybe we should have.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy in the A-Rob, though? He was frustrating the hell out of A-Rob most of the game.
Carlton Banks. Carlton something. I can't remember his name. His name was Carlton, though. He was doing the dance.
Yeah.
Doing the Carlton dance. But yeah, I mean, they got some players, and that defense is not terrible. I know Herbert kind of lit him up, but
must be nice to have a rookie quarterback hit, huh?
Herbert was doing like they used the Charger game because you saw how Herbert hit Kelly and I don't know, Keyshawn Vaughn. No, that was the Bucs guy. But the Chargers were down to their backup running backs, and they were able to hit some routes out of the backfield.
Right. The wheel route, man. It's nice to see it back.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen it since Chase Daniel because apparently, he was the only one that could hit it.
Yeah, and now Foles kind of hits it. And
I mean, listen, what Foles does is he gives his guys a chance to make a play.
Yep.
And there's going to be a ton of those passes where it's like, oh my God, what the? He caught it! Like, I mean, and it's exciting. Like, it's, that's what this game was exciting. Like, I was ready to just have 3 hours of pain. And we had like 15 minutes of pain.
It was terrible. I tweeted out, Well, at this pace, we will lose only 40-0.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like
Wait a
13,
minute.
13 felt like 30. And then all of a sudden, it was like bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Foles gets hot. Fuller makes a play. Oh, shit, we're rolling. Let's go. Let's go. You know, like.
Then they get in like 1st and 30. And I'm just like, something's going to happen where we get.
Well, that was another thing. Nagy said,
just
"I've never been a part. I've never been a part of this." Yes, you have, bro. Like, remember,
We did it.
1st and 40. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's in denial. Like, it's like you didn't do anything before this. Like, this is what you are. Like, you know, you can't go back and like pretend like you won a ring in Kansas City or something just because Andy Reid did.
In my mind, I was going, "Oh, great! They're going to find a way to a penalty's going to get called. They're going to erase it, and it'll be 1st and 10, and we're going to get." And then, you know, just that whole negative thought process. And it's like that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, we got the call. We got it. I mean, just needed that momentum, and I think what you say, you know, that Fuller hit was just such a momentum changer. And
it could be one of those things that you look back at a turning point in the season, even though we're 3-1.
And there's a lot that's frustrating to watch about Foles. Like I said, the athleticism isn't there. The arm talent at times, it's like, ooh, but the dude stays consistent. He doesn't get rattled. There's not a moment too big for this guy. And he makes adjustments as needed. And that whole thing that he did with calling that pass to Montgomery at the end, like, it's just refreshing to see a guy that can recognize what's going on with the defense and call things accordingly right on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, you know, how they replace Daniels. I don't know if it's just as simple as letting Bars have the job.
Bars all right, man.
Bars played 31 snaps. Which
I did like some of his cutoff blocks whenever they were running like that inside stretch where
I would like to see them go out and pick up Witzman or somebody, though. You know, Justin Britt's out there, who was, you know, played for Seattle for a long time. I mean, I don't feel super confident in, you know, just Bars and Coward and Hambright, and then maybe they bring up Simmons or you know, like Witzman played pretty solid in 2018. He had, you know, 530 snaps, you know, spelling Long. And honestly, I felt he should have kept his job, but they gave Long the shot to play in the playoff game, and we saw how that went.
Jared, ask your nephew about Josh Klein, too. He's available.
Oh, Viking?
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
I'm just saying, I don't know if they're going to pick anybody up. I wouldn't mind seeing them do it. Somebody was bringing up Ted Larson. I'm like, Ted Larson is so old and washed. Like, come on,
Kyle Long. Why not? Let's just throw everybody out there.
Yeah, like, come on, Ted. You know, like
that's not everybody. There's a tight end that was a lineman that was a tight end once. We could go through that again.
Yeah, no thanks.
Don't sleep on Bars.
I want it to work too. I mean, we're the original Bars backers. Anybody else wants to take that claim, they're full of shit because we're the only ones that have been on JJ Stankovitz and us. That's it.
You too.
That's it. Yeah, you're the hater over there.
I'm the hater.
You know, watch Sam Mustipher come in and play center and
oh my
Cody
God, I will throw something through my TV if that happens.
Yeah, that's a little man at center.
Yeah, well,
I don't care if you get the job done. Get it done.
I think though, like people are as they do, like kind of tripping about Daniels. Like I heard today that we lost our best offensive lineman. I'm like, huh? No,
Bobby Massey's still playing.
Yes, and Cody's better
than the game.
Cody's better than Daniels. He's better than Daniels. Like, no, I mean Daniels. I think was starting to round into form. But dude was getting beat like a drum sometimes. I still
think it's a damn shame that he really hasn't had a consistent shot at center because I think Cody's a better guard than Daniels.
I will give Cody credit though. The shotgun snaps have been okay.
Yeah,
I mean it's a much bigger target. It's a lot harder to snap him over Foles' head, as we've said. But
find wood, knock hard.
I thought Cody had a pretty good game. I didn't see anything that Leno did that made me go crazy, but you know, they did have the Massey. I mean, Massey also made the play of the game by you know, he got his ass beat, but he picked up the fumble. I mean, if we, I mean, that's one thing. Foles, like you say, he's going to take hits. He's going to throw some hospital balls. He's going to throw some balls that might get picked. It's going to happen. But he can go on these heaters and score like crazy amount of points in a short period of time. So
they made this season entertaining. I will say that.
Right. I mean, let's just let's not act like we haven't lived through this before, and Bears fans should just should know exactly what this is like. You know what I mean? Like it's Grossman, it's Miller, it's it's a lot of these guys. I mean, it's just we got a good defense, we got a streaky quarterback. Like
that streaky quarterback's far more intelligent than the guys you just mentioned, though. He does
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Anybody you want to throw some shade at?
I mean, we already kind of threw shade at Brady.
my shade's at Nagy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't kill momentum. Stop.
Right.
Stop the cute bullshit.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
I think that would be a consensus.
I would also just throw shade at everybody. I'm gonna throw shade again at everybody that was doing mock drafts after the Colts.
Mock draft guy.
Like anybody that was ready to fire everybody and do mock drafts, just like I don't know, go watch the Premier League or something. I don't know, like I don't get it. Like you don't know where we're drafting, you don't know fucking anything. So just calm down and watch the games. Like relax. Like it's not, nothing was over. Even if they had lost this game, the shit wouldn't have been over. Like we had a long way to go. Everybody we went now we have like a 70% chance percentage to make the playoffs, 85. And that's on the old playoff where there weren't 7 teams. Like we're it ain't pretty, but when has Bears football ever been pretty? Like buck up and just ride it out.
I got to throw shade at myself too for calling for Tyler Bray before that happened.
It works. I mean,
I was serious, man. But
I was ready to see somebody though. I said, "Can we borrow Blaine Gabbert?"
Who was the reporter that had the Bears with only 3 wins? He got blasted.
Nate Davis, some punk ass from USA Today.
I'm sure.
And then today he's trying to walk it back and say like, "Oh yeah, you're right, but the Bears still suck."
Well, Matt Miller came out and said he was wrong about the Bears.
There you go.
Well, good for him. I mean, a lot of people are gonna, that's the thing, and I think one of the few smart things that Trestman ever said was, you have to be careful with how you deal with success. And I think that's the case. Is you don't want this team to get too high, but I
the
think
only accomplishment that Mark Trestman truly made was Chloe. I've said it before.
This thirsty moment has been brought to you by Gatorade.
Simping ain't easy.
This is simping ain't easy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my shade. Is like anybody that gave up too early. You know what I mean? Like just chill, and try to enjoy. I know it's been a 3-hour stomachache every week. But
that first half was the darkness was starting to creep in, man.
And that's
the first quarter.
The first quarter and a half.
Yes.
And then it's like, wait a minute.
I was with you. I was like, this is going to be a shit show if we lose this game and then we have 10 days to digest this with stomach acid. It's going to burn up the whole city. You got anybody, Jer?
I'll just echo the Matt Nagy thing and that stupid reporter that was talking shit saying we were only going to win 3 wins.
Nate Davis.
Here's your shit.
And there were more than a few. Yeah, I mean, whatever. That I'm expectations are a killer, so I'm fine with anybody with all these national people hating on us.
Yeah, expectations are going to be. It's just hard. This is a hard team to grasp. They really need to find the identity is always going to be the defense, but we need I'd really like to see what this offense. I want to see 4 quarters of football from this football team, man. I want to see what this team can do at their full
I just want to see them score in the third quarter. Like that would make me happy. Like, come out with the ball and score on the first drive.
Yeah, it was the first coin toss we won all year.
A touchdown a quarter, I'll be happy.
Hell, I mean, if we got all we need to score 24 points is 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal. Like, so happy. Score a touchdown in the first, a touchdown in the second, a field goal in the third, and a touchdown in the fourth. Yeah, 24 points. Golden. 12-4.
Just be consistent.
Rack them up.
That's it.
Also, let me throw one more bit of shade.
Oh, here we go.
Shade to everybody that freaks out and calls the season canceled with every bit of COVID news that come out. The Jets had a positive test, which ended up being false like 4 hours later, and dudes couldn't wait to be like, well, there goes the season. The season's not getting canceled.
The Titans are going to screw it up for everybody.
Right. It's like they're going to figure it out. Yeah, maybe they might forfeit a game. They might have to play. The great part about no fans is they can move these games wherever they want. The Saints might be playing in Indianapolis if this hurricane hits, like they're saying it's gonna. There's a big ass hurricane about to hit New Orleans. The cool part about no fans is they can move shit around because they don't have to worry about tickets or flying out people or worrying about any of that stuff. Like, it's just like, we're gonna play Tuesday, we're gonna play 2 games on Monday, we're gonna play on Wednesday Night Football, and you're gonna love it. So get ready. Like, the NFL is not stopping. Like, cut the shit. Quit the sky is falling garbage. They're not stopping. This season will go on. They're not gonna pause for 2 weeks. Like, the logic of that. Yes, let's send everybody home for 2 weeks because that's the best way to keep these guys safe. No, the best way is in their damn facilities.
Yeah, they might have wanted to look at somewhat of a bubble. But
I don't know how you do it with these rosters. It's not a basketball team. The safest way for them to go is what they're doing, and it's been working pretty well, but it was never going to be perfect.
Nope.
Like, and the Titans, I mean, I've been holding this, but you see how Mike Vrabel's kids act behind him during the draft? It's kind of funny how disciplined his team is, right? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. He got a bunch of crazy-ass kids acting the fool behind him, and this team, I mean, they had the rookie tackle that's out there partying, getting busted for stuff, and then, these fools have to have a workout. Like,
shit ain't so sweet when you leave Bill, is it?
I mean,
no.
He's one of the few coaches that's actually been successful out of that. But
right, and then but I mean, they got screwed. I mean, they probably would have beat the Chiefs. I mean, if they had Cam, they would have beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, possibly.
Hoyer shit the bed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if they had Cam, they definitely would have beat the Chiefs. Because the Cam's not making the mistakes that Hoyer made. And that Stidham, the Edelman, 6-6, that was Edelman's fault. So, Wyatt Kramer in the house.
There he is.
He says, in our college, they send the person home that has it and people in contact campus. It makes no sense. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
Like, that's what's crazy is, like, I know they need to close these facilities and get them all cleaned up, but it's like the safest place for them to be is in that facility.
Yeah.
Where the contact tracing is, and I mean that's what they're able to do. That's what they were able to do with the Patriots, is they reviewed all the contact tracing equipment and the cameras, and they were like, "Okay, we're good." Everybody's like, "There's no way the season is canceled."
Tell me about Josh Klein, man. What his take is on Josh Klein?
You there, Dub? They're asking about Josh Klein. That's my
weigh in on offensive lineman, free agent, former Viking Josh Klein.
I bet we're going to get a big he sucks.
He did.
Anyway, what are you guys going to do with your Sunday now?
Chilling with the fam, man. Nice 3-day weekend here.
Yeah. I'm just going to chill. Oh, here he goes. He's terrible.
There it is. Told you. There it is.
I mean, if you get cut from the Vikings, you probably suck. There's a reason he's a free agent. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they've had
he was just the first guard that came up unavailable free agents.
Right, but they've had tons of offensive line problems. So if you get cut from the Vikings, you suck. Like, on the offensive line. That's all. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that the Bears already have a win in the bag.
Which is wild because that offensive line was one of their strengths a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but not last year.
No, I said a couple of years.
No, last year. Actually, no. 2 years ago it wasn't, and last year it was good. Last year they ran
but the year
ball.
before that, it was like 3 years ago. They had a pretty solid offensive line.
17, yeah, that's like a million years ago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, just
I gotta work, so there's that. So
yeah,
I'd be like,
you just had live at Budokan, Jared tailgate, like Friday Night Lights.
Friday night, that's my weekend.
Jared was doing the damn thing. Shout out to Jared.
Jared, did you get one of those Grateful Dead Bears hats?
No, I have not yet.
They're like selling out everywhere.
I'm gonna have
somebody said I'm 100% sure that a dude who looked just like this sold me fireworks in Myrtle Beach. Like, this is so accurate. I am paying $40 for that ugly ass hat. I don't care. I don't care what kind of hippie music you like. Wyatt, yes, we have a lot of suckitude in that O-line, and we haven't had a good O-line since 2012. We've given up the top 7 most sacks for 8 years now. So take that, Brian.
garbage.
This is Brian's like fishing all night tonight. Like he puts out a little line and then reels it back in.
Nope. Their O-line was pretty solid a couple seasons ago.
According to the Viking fan, the resident Viking fan, it was not.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm just saying. I mean,
So Carolina's on the docket next.
Carolina's on the docket next. I don't think it's a pushover game.
And we're all Bucs fans for next week.
Who are the Bucs playing? Oh, the Packers. Yeah, that's gonna
go Tampa Bay.
Hopefully Godwin's back.
I hope they all come back.
Brady's mad.
Yep.
That would be nice. Then we're in first place.
He can do his little victory tour and stick it to old Aaron.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
That'd be nice. I don't think anybody should look past Carolina.
No.
Mike Davis is playing well. Doesn't look like McCaffrey's going to come back. We not calling Teddy Bridgewater Teddy Ball Game. Absolutely not. Not on this show or any other show.
I've said it several times.
Ted Williams. It's Ted Williams. I hate the Red Sox, and you're not giving him that nickname. Teddy Ball Game. Here we are. Why it's still going on about the Vikings offensive line. Case ran for his life, and we lost 2 QBs that season because they killed us 100% cheese free up in here.
Yes. Several messages there.
I don't know what that meant. That's like some Kramer code.
Yeah, cheese free. We're lactose intolerant around here, especially in Cracker Week. Hey, that's one cheese that's really good.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you, boys. I think that's it.
That's
I can't
it.
think anything else to talk about.
4-1. It's all good in the hood.
Blow, correct, Wyatt.
Blow flag, blow. We can agree on that.
Yeah, just I want to see how they I was going to say come out of this 10-day break here, and it's.
Does it bother you that there is a 10-day break? Like,
no.
Are you afraid that they're going to make the wrong decisions? And
no, I think it's great for Foles. You got 10 days.
I'm talking about just in general in life. Like we're talking about the COVID era. Does that bother you?
Not with the way this team's handled this so far. I think this gives them a break and gives them time to recover if they're a little banged up.
They're not sending them to the Bahamas.
No.
They're going to be practicing.
I was just curious what you thought. I mean,
I think it
I'm a little nervous about it.
Gives Foles more time to plan and get on the same page with his receivers. I
mean, I guarantee you that in 5 days, Bears Twitter is going to be calling the Panthers game a trap game and all up in their feelings about it, and like whatever. And why I said rest is a great thing. Let them relax and get healthy. Absolutely. Right. I mean, I don't think Carolina's gonna have much of a home field advantage. I'm not too worried about them, but I think they got to play tough. The Carolina's defense is like pretty bad. So this should be a get right game for the offense. Let's put it that way. I don't know who the hell's on the Panthers.
They ain't ready for
besides
Lamar Miller on
McCaffrey.
this team.
Man, I hope so. God, that'd be nice. Gotta be nice if we had like a two-headed monster running back. Whew. All right, anyway. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, Periscope. And shout out to our squad for being 4-1. Shout out to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BRAWL. Save 20% off your order. Get it right. Get it tight. Just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
The Bears.
The 4-1 Chicago Bears.
Reel it in, boys. Reel it in.
Willie Young style, baby.
Willie Young.